Wow. All right. Well, Happy New Year in advance. It is not Happy New Year. But as a present, I guess we have to see how it work out. But Marvin Lewis is no longer the coach.
That's right. It's a very early happy New Year, happy 2019 to all the Bengals fans. You can hear my voice and you can hear how it's gone. That's because I've been spending the day screaming in joy and mirth, I believe it's called. And actually, I spent the day with my good friend Dadio. Right now, we are in his little shack, really, I guess you call it, in Malibu. He took me
The
out
only
to
place I could afford.
he took me out to breakfast to celebrate. Of course, I paid, but it was wonderful, and I ended up screaming along the ocean in joy that there is no more Marvin Lewis for us to complain about on the Cincinnati Bengals coaching staff. He's gone, and he's still running his babysitting club. But two of his clients are here today, which are famous commentators on the Bengals. The McCaffreys are being babysitted right here in Dadio's home, and they had some stuff to say about how happy they are. So first, you want to get all up in this, Mr. Marty McCaffrey, and tell me what you think?
Marvin Lewis was more interested in making friends with his players than in winning games.
That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
That
That's been a
hurts.
common complaint that I have had,
Yeah.
that Daniel and I have shared, is that he was too friendly with the guys. That article that we all saw where he's buddy with Perfect. I mean, why? Vantes Perfect was not adding enough to the team to make up for all of the problems he had and the bad reputation that ended up costing us when it came to decisions that that the refs were making. Vantes Perfect is not worth it. No other coach would have put it. Good observation, Marty. And Melissa, you had some positive stuff to say as well. Go ahead, my friend.
I think the reason why the Cincinnati Bengals were one of the worst teams is because Marvin Lewis was very old-fashioned.
Old fashioned. That's putting it mildly. Old fashioned the way my aunt Petunia is a baby boomer, which is she barely qualifies as such because she's so old. I mean, the man was so old fashioned, honestly, that he was running the team as if it was a 1990s organization. He wasn't up to date. He wasn't coaching in the new way, and it cost us. I don't know if you agree that you, but it cost us big time. It cost us big time.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I agree. It cost us. I feel what people are saying that he was a limited coach, and we couldn't really go very far. We couldn't win a playoff game. We, we couldn't win a primetime game. We couldn't beat Pittsburgh. I understand all that, you know, but
Sounds like an apology is coming.
I want to be realistic here, you know. And yes, there were reports that we are interviewing actual coaches. Of course, they're like position coaches that we haven't heard about.
Well,
So
let's run down who they are.
I want to, yes. I mean, so first of all, we heard the report that Hugh Jackson
Oh gosh.
and
Oh gosh. Oh
well,
gosh.
one Bengals reporter pointed out, Hugh Jackson and Bill Lazor are going to get their chances, and probably, I think Darren Simmons too. But like he said, what kind of a would want to go to a place where he would never have a chance of becoming the head coach if he does a good job and the head coach leaves? This is a good point. So you have to talk to your assistants. I mean, they work for your company already. You have to give them
No,
a chance.
you don't, because you just brought the man on from a failed Browns team because Marvin insisted
Okay,
that
yeah,
you do it.
you
And you just did
okay,
it.
maybe
Yeah.
not. Yeah,
Here's the problem.
well,
Here's the guy that nobody wants.
that's true. And does Mike Brown want it?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
That's what I was
yeah.
saying.
No, you made a good point. We were talking over breakfast, and I want to
I
remind.
don't. I think that the relationship that Hugh had with Mike Brown
Yeah,
was done through Marvin Lewis. My hope and my sincere hope is that actually now that Marvin's gone, that those chains have been broken.
yeah.
That what we're going to see is a more open-minded
Well,
Mike Brown.
yeah. Well, I don't want to remind.
Charms of Marvin Lewis and hopefully Hugh
It's
Jackson.
funny you mentioned Charlie Rose. Talk about that. And if you guys remember, in the press release, Mike Brown said, a guy, we was talking about Marvin Lewis, he says, I was very sad to see him go because I was very fond of him. Very funny. That
The
it
man, every
really
time he smiles, it makes me smile. He has an infectious smile.
does.
And let's be grateful. Now that the man's leaving, let's not speak ill of him. I mean, he did change the team, and he made the team from what we call a really bad team into a mediocre team that was with
Well, we were better than mediocre. No, we were. I mean, winning record.
Two really good seasons, and that was fine. That was good.
Well, okay, hold on. So let's one in a row. Okay. So what I want to say is, it is a point that you made. Without Marvin Lewis there, does Mike Brown really want Hugh Jackson? And if you guys remember, when Hugh Jackson in 2015, I think, or 16, people thought he's going to be the next head coach, and Marvin Lewis is going to make him successor. And Marvin Lewis and Hugh went to Mike Brown, and Mike Brown wouldn't put it in writing.
That's right.
So
that's a very good sign.
So it's a good sign. Yeah. So Mike Brown, like you said, he was kind of going along with it because of how much he likes Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm only speaking from the gut here. But that's the only place I know how to speak from. Hodgie doesn't speak from anywhere other than the gut, really. But my gut tells me that what we're seeing here with the request to interview Josh McDaniels, with the request to interview your Zach Taylor, and even though he's got Bengals connections, with your request to interview Eric Bieniemy, I really feel like what we're seeing is Katie Blackburn stepping up a little bit, because I can't imagine that Mike Brown came up with this on his own. Does he even know who these people are? I doubt it. Either he's getting advice from someone. I mean, the man, we just found out on Twitter, doesn't even check email. You have to write him with handwritten letters and use a wax seal sent by a horse, flew by a pigeon to his window, in order for him to write a letter back to you. God knows how long this process takes. I mean, that's
the horse seal. I didn't see the tweet, but I
used my imagination.
I know. You. Yeah. But look, here's what I want to say. You say maybe Mike Brown doesn't know who these guys are. Honestly, tell me honestly. Did you know who Zach Taylor?
Wait a minute. You're saying that me, a professional football commentator, a guy whose livelihood and whose life is commenting on football, wouldn't know who the great Zach Taylor, an American football coach,
and Shane Waldron,
quarterback coach for the Los Angeles Rams of the National.
Okay, who's Waldron? Don't stop looking at Google.
You think I don't know? Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, look, here's the thing. Everybody say, "Oh, we're trying to find the next Sean McVay." He's a coach. Very smart coach. I live in LA, so I hear him on the radio. He does the Rams talk or whatever.
Yeah,
he knows his stuff. And people are impressed that he knew the Bears defense players, which is not that big of a deal. Everybody now is like, hey, you want the next Sean McVay. So what he do? He says, okay, let me find the position coaches who are on the same offense that is still doing so well.
Yeah.
And give me the next Sean McVay. It's kind of lazy. I mean, I didn't expect McDaniels to put a lot of work into it. And Josh McDaniels has been a hot name for like 10 years.
Well, some of them do make sense. Like Eric Bieniemy's got the connection.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy. I'm talking about the reports from Alex Schefter.
Like Taylor, for example, was a Cincinnati Bearcats offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I saw that. I looked at the Wikipedia too right before. But look, here's the thing. Josh McDaniels. He had the Colts job, remember? He had it locked up. He was going to be the coach.
Well, he had some. I mean, there were some shady dealings and dealings. I mean, he carries.
No, I mean, he can pick and choose, and he wants the perfect spot. You think you want to go somewhere where they have this average quarterback bench that is a starter, owner who won't make bold moves?
Okay, look at it like that.
Look at
it like this. Wouldn't you, if you're an offensive-minded guy, wouldn't you be happy to go to a team that already has your Mixon and your pretty talented receiving core? I'm not just talking about AJ Green. I mean,
I think you're just talking about AJ Green if you're talking about talent.
No, I think Tyler Boyd has shown.
Oh, Tyler Boyd, yeah.
Tyler Boyd. And look, there's a chance Eifart's healthy next year. And if you got Eifert, you've got
you're overestimating the value.
No, I'm just saying that it's a lot more than what the Browns had.
I don't think so. They have a quarterback.
before they had makers a lot more than what the Browns had.
I mean,
And it's-
you're overestimating the value of running backs. Tell me, who's the starting running back for the Patriots now?
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Stop Googling.
No, everybody knows that the starting running back for the
Okay, I hear you typing. I don't even think you can Google and find the answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So really,
But you don't know. You're gonna leave
I
them.
don't know. I don't know. I know Rex Burkhead is on the team.
He got Jeremy Hill, but I don't know what happened to him.
He tore his ACL or something.
So I don't.
Yeah. You know. Okay, let's go to the comments. See if anybody's actually watching the show and talking about it.
It doesn't matter if they watch. The year is about to end, and it's about to end in a way where your Marvin Lewis is not. Let's just celebrate. Let's just enjoy the moment. I feel like some of the younger Bengals fans don't really understand that being a Bengals fan is about small victories. You're not going to win the Super Bowl. No, you're not this year, not next year, maybe never. That's not what being a Bengals fan is about. It's about the small victories. That means like, hey, Marvin Lewis is not a team. Small victory. Now, it's true you might end up getting Hugh Jackson, but don't think ahead. You can't think ahead as a Bengals fan because you're going to keep being disappointed.
Well, I mean, look, the fact that they want the offensive guy, hopefully it's not you, but that is the direction the NFL going now.
It is, yeah.
Look,
That kid is very young.
yeah, 35.
Josh McDaniels is not old.
He's only 40. Sean Waldron is only 29.
And they're most Midwestern people, which is good,
Yeah.
because football is a very Midwestern activity, first of all. And second of all, because honestly, I feel like what we're really seeing with the push for people like your Josh McDaniels, with the push for your Zach Taylor, is I feel like the Bengals are looking for an identity in a way. And that's one thing the Bengals have done that I think a lot of other teams haven't done. Our identity isn't just not winning. Like they like locals to be on the team.
Right.
They like a family feel for the team.
Let's be clear. Josh McDaniel not coming here. That's what I tried to say. He didn't take the Colts job with Andrew Luck. Oh, Andrew Luck, his arm hurt. Give me a break. Andrew Luck we knew he was going to be great again. Anybody who knows football knows he's going to be great again.
What about Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh, I think he already committed to Michigan, and he'd be too expensive and too demanding. I don't think he fits with Mike Brown. But yeah, I think Eric Bieniemy could work.
So
I'm just going on the Schefter report. Adam Schefter only mentioned those guys we said.
Yeah.
But look, a tight end. Imagine going from tight end coach to head coach. Anybody take
Jim
that job.
Caldwell, what do you think?
No.
Why not?
He's I don't want a washed up coach.
I do. Well, I don't know. I feel like the Bengals, if they're smart, what they'll do is let the Jets finish their search and then see who they interviewed. And whoever they didn't get that was their second runner-up guy is going to be so disappointed for not getting a job. We're like, hey, guess what? We got a job for you.
No, look,
like
there's a lot of head coaching jobs, and the Browns' job is a hot one.
Yeah, why are the Browns changing things? I don't understand. They had this great season. Why are they changing things up? And why would you go to the washed-up Packers coach that didn't work out? I don't understand that.
Well, they won a Super Bowl with them.
Yeah, who cares? They won the Super Bowl before the NFL changed in such a tremendous way. The NFL is a real different sport today. That's why Marvin Lewis isn't doing so well. He's playing.
Is this about vegan diets again with the whole diet, the shakes?
They're getting there. They're getting to the vegan diets. A lot of teams are using alternative medicine and they're using alternative diets. You know that, of course, Tom Brady, he's really into the new wave diets, and that's because they work. Dadio, I've been trying to put you on a new wave diet. Dadio had his health report from his doctor come in the other day, and the bones, the cross skull, the skull and the crossbones that you have for poison, the doctor had literally stamped that on his health report. The man is unhealthy. He's walking. We had breakfast together, and honestly, I mean, it was disgusting. No offense, Dadio, but the way the man eats, he's not going to be around for much longer. If you want Dadio to be around, you got to go on some kind of diet. I'm talking about your vegan, I'm talking about your gluten-free. That stuff really works. So a lot of teams are trying to update, but that's not just what I'm talking about. Marvin Lewis was outdated in terms of he still really didn't understand that the more aggressive offense is really the trick. He's a man who's still thinking that if you have a great defense, you're going to go far. But that's not how it works today. It's about putting up high scores. It's going to be like in a year or two from now, you're going to start seeing that 40s and 50s are going to be the norm. That we didn't used to see that in the 80s and 90s. That was weird for a football score. So Marvin Lewis didn't think that way. And
I mean, you always try to score as much as points as you can. I think it's
no, you don't. There's a defensive way to play football, like the old man.
Here's the thing. Look. We just
the old man way to play football was that a good defense will win the game,
but that's a good running game, good defense, good running game. Yeah. Now we had Mixon. Hold on, we had Mixon, and we weren't running him enough.
I don't agree with that. People keep saying that on Twitter. I don't agree with that.
Look how no. Look how good Mixon was.
If you run,
look at his averages behind that line.
Become predictable, and you start to run a lot. You wear
down. Run. Then it's not effective. It was more effective than passing. Jeff Driscoll averaged like 4 yards a pass.
If the run is the element of surprise, okay, then
run is not the element. Run is about winning the battle up front.
No, if they might be, you see, here's the thing, okay? Nowadays, the norm it used to be the run was the norm and the pass was the surprise. Today, the pass is the norm and the run is supposed to be the surprise. That's the new way. Dadio, why are you so old-fashioned, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I really just think.
Okay, who is your number one? If tonight is the New Year night.
Okay.
And in all of Village Island, everybody could make one wish on New Year night, and you remember Papa New Year would make your wish come true that year. You remember when you wished to be a host of your own sports show, and you got it.
Yes.
I mean, it was just me and you in a little hut. But remember, you got that wish, and you were sitting around doing the radio show, and other kids came and listened.
Yeah.
So tonight, I want you to imagine that you can have any wish you want.
Okay.
Who are you wishing is the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals in 2019, 2020?
So even like someone who already has a job?
You can, only if their job might be, it'd be a little bit realistic. So for example, if it's the kind of person who's been talking about stepping away, sure. But if it's the kind of person you can step away, sure. But try to be realistic.
Well, you know, I like Jim Harbaugh.
I love Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So who is that your wish?
Yeah.
Okay. Why him?
I like he has attitude. He stand up to management. He gets guys to play for him. He's been deep into the playoffs many times. Yeah. I think 3-4 times at least in the few years he was in San Francisco. They were deep into the playoffs. He knows how to coach at the highest level in the NFL. Yeah, I like that he's not the company man. He's young enough. He's smart enough to survive in today's NFL.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
By the way, someone said, "Where TF the puppets?" TF is like.
What do you mean? TF, you're right there. Where?
No, I mean the Hodgie puppet.
WTF do you mean, brother?
Yeah, where are the puppets?
Oh, my puppet.
Yeah.
It's in production. It's coming. You check the Twitter. Follow me on Twitter and you'll see the updates.
Well, I think we saw on Twitter that you had the puppet and now you don't.
I have the puppet. I'm working on getting a nice setup. I want to come professional. And I'm right now at Dadio's little place in Malibu. So I don't have it with me. So I thought you'd rather hear me, even with my crackling, ecstatic voice, than see me. But you'll be seeing it probably from here on out. You'll always see me in puppet form. So don't, boys and girls, your wishes and dreams will come true. Hodgie will be with you. Always. So, what's up, Dadio? You're not going to ask me the same question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Where are the puppets? I mean, no. I mean, yeah. I mean,
I wish.
Your wish.
Hodgie's number one pick, if he could have anybody he could have for an incoming young, I'm looking for a young coach. I'm looking for a coach who fits with our culture.
Right.
I'm looking for a coach who can win. And the number one person I'd be looking for, Chris Richard. Chris Richard would be my choice for the coach that the Cincinnati Bengals should get. Now you ask me why, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, why? Yeah. I keep forgetting.
You're a good host, Dadio. Because I'll tell you why. Because Coaching is about culture. Coaching, you should think less of the individual, more of the tree, the family tree. Bill Parcells was the trunk of a very successful tree. From him came many successful fruits.
True.
Those fruits are for yesterday.
Yes.
You can't get your Steve Carroll. You can't get your, but you. Chris Richard has been in some successful organizations, and I know the Dallas Cowboys people don't talk about them as a successful organization, but they are one. And he's also been with the Seahawks, so he knows how that they run over there.
What does he do now?
Like right now,
No, I mean, what position on the Cowboys is he?
defensive backs coach.
Oh, so he's not the offensive guy.
You don't need an offensive guy. You need a good coach. A head coach isn't about, listen, offensive coordinator does defensive coordinating. Defensive coordinator does defensive coordinating. The coach is the glue. The coach is the boss. The coach is the general. He's got that. He's got the charisma. And he's been with the Seahawks too. So he knows, because I believe that the Seahawks are the best coached team in the NFL, believe it or not.
They're a very good coach. Yeah, but Pete Carroll is a great coach.
Yeah, the best. Why are they the best? Because they might not always win, but the way he has a complicated psychological drama that he plays with his
Pete Carroll?
Yes, Pete Carroll does.
He's very playful with them.
Yes, but playful, but he raises the expectations.
Yeah.
Because the difference between college coaching and professional coaching is that the professional coach isn't like the college coach. You can't be a disciplinarian. You have to find the balance. And Mike Tomlin, I know Bengals fans don't like to hear this. Mike Tomlin's good at that too. But I believe that the Seahawks, he's comes from two successful organizations. And he's got the need.
Okay. I like that. I like you're thinking outside of the box. Okay, but look, hold on. So if we get a guy like Shane Valderon, position guy, who's just lucky to have a head coaching interview, right? There's a good chance we keep a lot of the assistants, which means there's a good chance we keep Dalton.
No, oh yes.
Right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Hold on. I think if we're Bengals fans, we should be rooting from among the candidates we heard, we should be rooting for Josh McDaniels.
Wait a minute. Can I use a cuss word?
No.
Yeah, puppets.
No, yeah. Yeah.
WTF are you talking about? WTF talking about? We have to, this organization needs to change. And the person right now who's in the hot seat is your Andy Dalton. Because unless
so that's what I'm saying. I think Josh McDaniels, if you get the position coach, he's not going to be able to move as many pieces. But you get a Josh McDaniels, who's the coordinator and was a head coaching candidate, then you can make bigger moves.
Now I understand WTF.
Yeah,
now
that's why even if we don't. So what I'm saying is, even if we don't think McDaniels is going to be a great coach, the thing is he kind of has that Harbaugh in him, where he has his own ideas about what he wants to do. You know, he's worked under Belichick for many years, which means he has, he probably wants to get involved in some of the decisions in terms of cuts, players they keep and whatever. Which means he wouldn't have to fight for power the way Marvin Lewis did for many, many years. He'd have more of it from the start. He's kind of a bigger name. And remember, he was the guy who got Tebow and won the playoff game with Tebow against the Steelers. He beat the Steelers with Team Tebow. And he thinks so far out of the box. Yeah, so what I'm saying, I don't think I think there's something wrong with the guy, because why turn down the Colts job? Okay, that's a good look at that team now. They're one of the best teams. Because of Andrew Luck, and they rebuilt the offensive line. Like if Andrew Luck had all that early in his career,
I don't think that's why he turned down the Colts thing.
He wasn't scared. He wanted to make the opportunity.
I don't agree with that. Who said that?
I don't know.
No, I think it was. I don't know the details, but there was some personnel and personality clashes. This is like a coaching job. It's not just about getting a good position and things like that. It's also very much about, personalities. Do they mesh? Does it work out? Is it a good contract? So I agree with you, though. I think that whoever comes, as long as it's not Hugh Jackson, I feel bad for Andy Dalton. I don't think he's going to be as secure as he was before. The Marvin Lewis way of doing things, which is that Andy Dalton is good enough. Andy Dalton is not really good enough for today's offense. and it's not good enough for the Bengals offense. Yes, if the Bengals had everything else working in fine-tuning and fine-tuned order and like a well-run machine, fine. But the Bengals need a superstar quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that Josh McDaniels is the guy to force change. I'm saying he wanted to win so bad. He's like, I'm going to get Tim Tebow. He can win.
He was right.
I mean, Dalton is the anti Tim Tebow. He is your run-of-the-mill quarterback, system quarterback. Tim Tebow is like, wow, we have to change the whole offense to a running offense with this guy who's like a fullback who can also throw, and he made it work because he is a smart offensive mind. I think he didn't have the personality. I think his problem is yeah. But I'm just saying he didn't have the personality to be head coach at the time. He was like very young. He was like 18 years old. Now he's 42. You know what I mean?
You learn a lot between 18 and 42.
Maybe he was older than 18. I don't know. But he was very
Here's the thing. I want to say. You mentioned one more thing, and I want to kind of get to that point. You said, well, a lot of coaches coming into the Bengals organization, they're not going to know how to deal with the Mike Brown situation.
Right.
I actually think that one of the legacies that Marvin Lewis has left,
I see,
to the Cincinnati Bengals is now coaches will have more autonomy.
That's a good point.
The fight has been won, and I don't think the next head coach is going to have to fight the way Marvin fought.
Well, let's also remember that Mike Brown.
Let me say, negotiated with Marvin. Negotiated because Marvin's approach is a soft politic approach.
Yeah, but look, Mike Brown is like, he was like early 60s. Now he's 80 something.
Okay, can you?
No, sorry, he was like, he was like mid 60s, like late 60s. I don't know.
I believe Mike Brown is currently he's
like 83. Yeah, so he's like, I don't know, 66 or something.
I don't know. Let's write the letter.
Well, this is why we need John here. By the way, John, we love you and we hope you're having Happy New Year. But really, we don't know how to talk about these coaches because
John, you can't just go party hard and without us.
This is what happens when I give him his check for the monetization.
Yeah, we monetized.
We made almost $3 already.
We made almost $3.
John doesn't know. He's just like he's lost. He's kind of like.
We're putting it into the show. We're putting it into the show. We paid those kids to be on the show right now today.
Yeah,
we paid them $1, which is it's working wages for a child, not in the United States, but in certain islands that are right outside the United States. Child labor laws. We try to meet.
Well, we honestly expected them to provide more analysis because we needed it without John here.
Well, we only paid them for $1.
That's the thing. I didn't know that was what $1.50 gets to.
Yeah, it doesn't get you much.
Well, look.
Hold on. Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, I have things to say. But you go first. You go first because I forgot.
Okay, go. Yeah, I forgot to. No, I didn't. Okay. Look.
Yeah.
Can we?
Did we both?
Well, okay. So here's the.
Oh, I remember. So can we?
Yeah,
just,
I remember.
I think we should probably wrap up the show. But can we agree on one thing?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you and me. I'm talking about the thousands, nay, tens of thousands of viewers who either have seen or are seeing or will see this video.
Yeah.
Can we have so many fans across the world? Can we just agree on one thing? That the worst scenario for the Cincinnati Bengals is Hugh Jackson. Even worse than Marvin Lewis.
Man. Yeah. And I don't think
why did they interview that man? I'm angry I'm gonna write a letter.
Oh, by the way, everybody, please write a letter saying you don't want Hugh Jackson, you don't want Vance Joseph, you don't want Darren Simmons. And Bill Lazor.
Hugh Jackson is a corrupt guy. He poisons the well.
On Bengals Drive. Hold on. What is the address?
You tweeted it.
I tweeted it. Remember.
You tweeted it. So let's find
Hold on. Everybody write letters.
Hope we get a young coach. I can't. Did you put the address?
Yeah, I put it in the tweet.
I can't find it. Oh, hold on.
Just click on my tweets. So look. You write a letter, you say, Mike Brown, I am a longtime Bengals fan. And
here we go. 1 Paul Brown Stadium.
Right. Cincinnati, Ohio.
45202.
Yes, 45202.
1 Paul Brown Stadium. Cincinnati. Write your letters, boys and girls.
Yeah, really, he reads them and he even responds to a lot of them.
Find a person who has a horse so they can ride it over to the stadium. like Paul Revere,
Yeah.
and then they pigeon in the
Look,
bag.
what
Pigeon.
people saying is that Mike Brown actually was responding to all the frustration because he received a lot of letters. Chris Rowling,
Make
a
sure
Bengals
to
writer, was saying,
that will disappear at a certain time. The man is old-fashioned. He's like the old-fashioned.
no, really, he's going to read the letters. He is going to, I look. Don't get me wrong. Josh McDaniels might be fired in 4 years. He might be bad, but
who cares?
right. I like the position coaches, guys. I like this. I like the idea. I'll be honest with you. I like Sean McVay. Okay, but they have a quarterback who's #1 overall pick, and now because of his success, they're like, oh, let's get everything that they touch. Because how is Jeff Goff so good? No. The previous guy, Jeff Fisher, was so bad. I mean, you have the #1 overall pick, and he looked terrible. Now he looked good. They said, oh, so the QB coach must be good. The tight end coach and pass game coordinator must be great.
No.
It could be. It could be.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not. So, I'm sure they'd be good. But you have to understand, you're bringing a guy like that who's like lower. You want the guy that other people want. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. The Bengals, stop bringing in people that nobody else wants.
Right. And Josh McDaniels has enough clout and prestige
and
name to actually push his agenda and get his quarterback.
We give credit where credit is due, even though Mike Brown, for him to watch this video, we'd probably have to have...
No, we have to write everything we said in a letter. Can someone transcribe this video and send it to him?
Mike Brown is you have to hire a group of Elizabethan actors who come in a little cart and they put on makeup and masks and they perform it for him because he's very old-fashioned. But listen, the point is, can we give Mike Brown credit where credit is due? The last time he had to make a head coach hiring decision, he did an okay job. He got us Marvin Lewis, and that was a great decision. What did he do right? Well, I'll tell you what he did right. He took a guy who had been with a winning organization, the Ravens, and he had been instrumental in the winning of that organization. You see? So he had the culture, he had the winning, and he really got lucky. He made a good choice with Mike Brown. Who's to say with Marvin Lewis? Who's to say Mike Brown also makes such a good decision today? Give the man some credit. He knows how to ride a golf. So he knows how to do some stuff. He's been around the block probably like 10, hundreds of thousands of times. Give the guy some credit.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
He didn't mean?
Yeah, he might have just fired himself. We don't know who fired who. I don't know what happened. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Marvin gets front office job." Come on, man. You don't go from like, "Hey, head coach, you failed. Now be our general manager." I don't know. Maybe it happened before, but I haven't heard of it. Marvin Lewis is gone, guys. He's going to be defensive coordinator probably for the Steelers, and he's probably going to be great at it. And we're going to
great defensive coordinator.
Well,
I mean, he turned our defense around.
Hey, he turned the defense with no linebackers into competent ones.
He made it so that we made the Chargers look weak. We made the Steelers look silly. We made every team who played us struggle. I mean, the guy I called at the beginning of the year. The man is to defense what the sandwich artist is to sandwich. He knows his defense.
He's an artist. Yeah. Okay. Well, we wrap it up. And hopefully we get John in here tomorrow if possible. We have a more in-depth, interesting interview. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Sweetie Pies. Have a good New Year. And be safe and, don't go too crazy. Okay. Bye.